Hi, boys and girls. We're going to talk about community today and wrap up our discussion on community with a little review. So, as you know, a community is a place where people live, work, and play together. What I'd like you to do is to look in your green folder that came inside your bag and see if you can find this page, the one that says Characteristics of a Community. If you don't have your bag or you don't have your folder yet, you can also make your own. Okay, so in order to make your own, you'll put a big circle in the middle. You can write the words characteristics of a community, and then you'll need 7 circles on the outside. And I'm going to move on, but if you need to pause the video at this slide to make your own, or pause the video while you find your worksheet, go ahead and do that. When you have your worksheet ready, be ready to fill in the circles with different characteristics of a community. So the first thing a community has are natural characteristics. That means things that are there in the community that are not made by humans. So some communities are hilly, some communities are in the forest, some communities are in the mountains. Every community has their own natural characteristics. And characteristics, friends, are things that kind of identify a place. They're things that you would typically find in a place. So go ahead and in the first bubble, or any of the bubbles, it doesn't matter the order, write down natural characteristics. I know that's a big, long word. Again, if you need extra time to write, pause the video. Another thing that communities have are different ways to get around. So in other words, transportation. That means different ways to move people and goods from one place to another. So a lot of communities have a school bus to get kids to school. Some communities, if they're near the water, they might have boats or ferries to get people places. Other communities, the only way to get place to place is by car. So go ahead and add transportation to one of your bubbles. Most communities have businesses. That's places where people sell goods and services, right? We have grocery stores that sell things. We have gas stations. So all communities need some sort of business. Go ahead and write businesses in one of your bubbles. And again, anytime you need to, pause the video, write the word, and then push play again. All communities have a government, and this is different than our country's government. Remember, we talked about communities have their own government, states have their own government, and then we get to that big country government. So in a government, it's a group of citizens that are chosen, remember, through an election to make and carry out the rules in the community. So go ahead and write government in a bubble. All communities have diversity. That means there's differences among the people or the groups of people. So people have different jobs, different religions, different cultures. There's a lot of diversity in communities. Write diversity in a bubble. The next one I put in there because most communities have places to have fun. So you have playgrounds in communities, you have fields where you can play sports. Many communities have a swimming pool you can go to in the summer. So most communities have somewhere for kids and adults to have fun. So add that to your chart. And last but not least, communities need to have roads for people to get around on for that transportation, and buildings. Now, not all communities have buildings like you see in the picture. It looks like a big city, right? That's not every community, but most communities have buildings that the businesses are in, or buildings that people live in, right? Houses, apartments, things like that. So again, buildings and roads are a characteristic of a community. Add that to your bubble. So this last slide is just for you to check your work. And again, you can pause the video to make sure you have all those things. Your order might be a little different. So maybe you put businesses down below and transportation up on top, and that's okay as long as you have one of those words in each bubble. So go ahead and check your work. And as always, friends, to show me that you did your assignment, if you would like to take a picture of your finished page and post it to Seesaw, Mrs. Valor will give out extra dojo points.